Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire, joined here in the PhocusWire studio by Niklas Zeller. You're the CEO and co-founder of Viselio.
Yes.
So welcome, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's interesting, in the bits that are written here about Viselio, it says you cut the time to apply for a visa from several hours to just a couple of minutes.
Yes.
That sounds like a very difficult thing to do. How do you do it?
Well, first of all, getting a visa, it's not just about getting the visa at the consulate, so it's mostly about getting all the papers in order to apply for the visa. And this can take several hours, excluding, getting all the information, gathering all the information from the different sources. And what we essentially do is we pack that all into one single place, into a one-stop shop. So you go on our website, and either there's already data available about you. If not, you fill out the form, one standardized form, and once you finish up the application, our software immediately generates everything you need for your application within 2 minutes. So in average, our clients, they take 7 minutes to fill out the visa application form, and we get you everything. So if you go to Russia, we get you your invitation in Cyrillic, we get you your health insurance confirmation.
Okay.
You can upload your picture and we will make sure it fits the embassy requirements and print it, and so on and so on and so on.
Okay, and because the process can be difficult if the consulate or the embassy has a question.
Yeah.
So they come back, then what happens? Does it just go to a snail's pace like it normally does?
So the main advantage for us is that we control the data quality. So when you apply over our platform, we immediately filter out everything that you shouldn't enter. All a bit. We really standardize that. So we hardly have any questions from the embassy. We had, I think, 1 or 2 cases in our history where people were asked for an interview. So we rarely see those cases because we prevent them in the very beginning.
Okay.
So it's really 96% of the applications that we get, we process them without any interaction with the customer.
Okay. And some embassies and consulates have reputations for being slower than others.
Yeah.
There's a particularly large one in the UK that I'm aware of. I'm not going to name now, but it's notorious for having queues snaking out the door and things like this. I mean, do you find that some embassies are easier to deal with just because you're introducing what may be a fairly new concept to them?
Well, generally, embassies, they like to work with visa services simply for the reason because they like our guys go there once a day with a pile of passports with perfect applications. They just literally stick the visa inside and they don't need to deal with people, and we can skip the line usually.
Don't need to deal with people, it sounds terrible, but it's probably
it's
true,
like that.
Yeah.
It's super easy for the consular officer, so that's why they like us, that's why we can skip the lines. This is why sometimes we have a bit of an advantage over the regular traveler, let's put it like that.
Okay, and your audience at the moment is consumers or travelers direct, or do you work with partners such as other travel brands on their behalf?
Exactly. So that's the move we're currently making. So we started as a pure B2C business, but we've developed different solutions for the business travel on one hand. So we built what we call the visa panel for companies, where they can apply, where a travel arranger can apply for the different travelers in the company. They can see which traveler has which active visas, which valid visas. So they can decide, for example, okay, turbine broke down in Azerbaijan. Which guy do I send to fix it? And they can see who already has a visa. And they can reapply for visas out of there. They can reuse the data, etc. So that's one thing that we do in the business travel. As well, we're working with some local TMCs in our current markets, where we use the profiles that they have about the travelers as well and push the data back. And then in the tourism sector, we are working with different travel agencies, big and small. So with this visa panel, they have a slightly different view than the company, but they can create groups, manipulate groups. One application that we have, for example, is river cruises. So one of our clients in Switzerland, they run river cruises in Russia up and down the Volga, around 4,000 passengers a year. And they simply create, they import the data from their mid office, about the traveler. They create the different departures in our system. They hit the button, and that's it. So they have nothing to do anymore with the visa.
So scale is always an issue for any startup. Is your biggest problem with scaling getting more customers, or is it your ability to serve a visa from a different country?
So we have practically two challenges in order to get customers. So two factors. So this is the number of origins. So you usually need to apply in the country where you have residence in order to apply for a visa. We found now really a cool way to scale there and grow there very fast, so we can bring up a new origin. So we're starting in the UK end of November. We can bring up those within a month. So super quickly. And then the other factor is destination, where you theoretically can go from 190 countries to 190 countries, which gives a certain complexity.
Indeed.
Where we usually start with the most demanded destination in each market, and as the market matures, we are adding more and more destinations. But that's not so hard either, because in our local markets we rely on local partners who have the knowledge for those particular destinations. So that's the main advantage. Yeah.
Okay, Niklas Zeller, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.